It was pushed by Microsoft. It was promoted by the Epic Games Store. It's been released during Black History Month. Relooted is finally here. And after a pretty disappointing demo period where it peaked out at 26 players, has its full release finally put an end to those doubting Thomases? Or is it Thomases? Well, no, it's now peaked at 57. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Yesterday saw the full release of Relooted, a game about black people stealing things, if you can believe it. But they're not just stealing them, they're liberating them. They're liberating artifacts that were stolen by the colonizers to return them to their rightful owners, aka bollocks history. Because a lot of the artifacts which now reside in museums were actually liberated from warlords. They were liberated from civil war. They were liberated from regular war. They were liberated from corrupt governments. You could go on and on and on and on. But if there's one thing that you can never out-racist, it's a white liberal. And they've got that market absolutely locked in. Now, a demo dropped for the game September of last year, and I've just realized I've given them actually too much credit. I thought it maxed out at 26 players. My bad, only 22. And one of those was me. One of those was me. As I downloaded the demo to test it out, to see what it was like, and it was absolutely bloody awful. It was clunky, it was messy, it wasn't fun. You had to plan the way that the heist was going to go, set the people in the place, and then try to run through it as fast as possible, which was just like, while grabbing, no, sorry, let me correct myself, while stealing the artifacts like the dirty thief that you were and exiting. I couldn't take it. I played it for about half an hour, 40 minutes, something along those lines, and I was done. The dev team looks exactly as you would expect the dev team to look like, and the owner of the company looks exactly as you would expect him to look like, as this progressive white liberal male said that there was a worldwide audience that had demanded African stories. Well, the African story he decided to tell was about black people stealing things. Exceedingly progressive there. Apparently not for Nyama Cop. Oh, and if you don't think this is racist, just have a look at this clip from Project Eggroll as he was attempting to play the game. Yes, some of the 57 people that played it at peak were actually YouTubers just mocking it, so you can probably take off a dozen.
I heard you were back in town.
What? What?
No freaking way you gotta, no way.
Way.
But I don't believe it, because I knew you would have come to see me.
That thing, I'm sorry. I was going to visit you eventually.
You'll be gone a long time. It's good to...
You'll become long time. Are you gonna love her long time? Okay, let's move on real quickly, shall we? Now, here are the release stats for Relooted. 17 people are currently in the game. Steady on there. Let's not put extra pressure on the servers. 24-hour peak, and the all-time peak being, of course, 57. Now, we can all tell that 57 is a horrendous number. But just to stick the boot in even further, it's actually less than Dustborn. this game was absolutely horrendous. I tried to stream it. I think I did one stream. I spent an hour or so maybe on the Pong video game because it was the only good thing about it. But that only hit a peak of 83. 83 people. Now, this is on other platforms, of course, and I did mention at the beginning about Xbox giving it some promotion for all the good that did, and the Epic Game Store giving it some promotion. So much so, actually, that if we have a look, you can see that there are 20,000 likes on the announcement for Relooted. This came out in June of last year. So let's say 8 or so months ago, 20,000. And that managed to translate into 57 sales on Steam. Interesting, eh? But if you say, well, as they're going to be playing it on the Xbox Pass, you see, because it's free. Free. Because you pay your $20 a month or whatever it is now. And you got to say to yourself, so let's say it's on Xbox Pass and 10,000 people play from the Xbox Pass. What does that translate to for them in terms of money? $1? $1.50? A Benjamin? Whoa! It can't translate to much when you think of all the games that are on the game store, the Xbox Game Pass. It's a system which just can't hold up. We've all known that for years upon years. So no, they're not getting rich or something like the Xbox Pass, and I very much doubt they're getting rich off the Epic Game Store, because one figure tends to correlate to the other figures and how they are performatively doing. But who was also involved in this game? Do you remember a company called Sweet Baby Inc.? Now, this is a post from a person called Chris Kindred, who used to be a member of Sweet Baby Inc. They found themselves with a ban on X as they attempted to have the Sweet Baby Inc. detector account pulled down through targeted harassment, which backfired massively on them. Oh, well, never mind. And they posted, did some early design consulting on Relooted, which might explain why the characters look like utter shit, and might explain why the game's so racist, and also might explain why it's also boring and crap. So glad to see it's finding its players. It's got 57 people. Okay. Big congrats to the team. What? On their unmitigated disaster, on their utter failure, on their complete embarrassment. Okay. I mean, odd thing to congratulate them on, but there you go. Now, again, this is probably not going to surprise anyone, but Nyama Cop seem to be doing most of their promotion for this game over on Blue Sky, and we'll see what they did on X to mark its launch in a moment. But on Blue Sky, please enjoy the museum. Relooted is out now. Please share. And it has 533 reposts, 71 quotes, 979 likes, 65 saves on Blue Sky. They're people. 57 people at peak. 17 in the game right now. Your people don't care. They've never cared. It's about virtue signaling. That's what it's always been about. They'll talk the talk. They won't be walking any walk. And if we look at the X account, you'll see that they have done nothing. Nothing since the 15th of January to push the launch of Relooted. Zero. Didn't even put an out now post for the game. Nope. Just retweeted that BBC Africa article that I mentioned earlier. The same one that Chris Kindred referred to as they took credit for making shit-looking characters. Is it any wonder they have no audience? Because this mythical audience that they said was there, this worldwide audience that was asking for stories about Africa, well, have you ever thought that maybe they didn't actually get one? Now, bear with me here, because I've got a couple of ideas that you could potentially run with. You might want to go with White Liberal Guilt, the video game, or, and I think this is my own personal favorite, the bigotry of low expectations made by a white liberal male. Yeah? I think there's some potential to run with that. You know, it's not too far off Relooted, to be honest. You can get all the endorsements you want from Xbox, from the Epic Game Store. One thing that you can never do is pull the wool over gamers' eyes. They are much too savvy to this type of bollocks nowadays, particularly with so much information available on the internet. What is hilarious, of course, is that even with those powerhouses behind it, they couldn't get more than 57 people at one time to play their game. They have less than 20 people playing it right now. Brand new, brand spanking. There is no audience for what you're trying to push. You might feel superior to gamers. You might feel as if morally you have the high ground, but you don't. You really don't. You're in the dirt and you're in the gutter. And all you're trying to do is appeal to cockroaches who are your own kind. I'll see you in the next video. You take care. Goodbye, Baloo.